7:32. We have a few meeting for public hearings. The first one is Jody Seidner, 9 Blue Trail Drive, application for a residence home office permit. Join us. Yes, that is the hot seat, right.
Do you want me to sign in this?
Yes, please. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Do you want me to just read the letter I wrote to you? Do you want me to explain what I want to do?
Whatever.
Okay. So I'm applying for a home office in my home, obviously, for my business, which is Sweet Seidner's Bake Shop. It is an online business, and we specialize in cookies and treats and brownies and bars. Currently, I work out of a bakery in Hamden, in a commercial kitchen there. Right now, my business services one retail customer here in Woodbridge. I buy all of my ingredients at local places like Restaurant Depot, Costco, BJ's, whichever has the best price for butter or other supplies. And I ship everything via the United States Postal Service, so I bring it to the post office myself, either down in Amity or out in Seymour. What else can I tell you about my business? The cookies are good. Obviously, why would we be doing this otherwise? So that's why I'm applying for my home business. It's going to be more convenient for me and just more economical to do it out of my home.
Your whole business model is based on the internet.
I'm sorry, what?
Your whole business model is based on the internet.
Yes. I do some farmers markets, like I did the Woodbridge Farmers Market and the Orange Farmers Market, and sometimes I do craft shows or fairs, but obviously I have to travel to those locations, so I load up my car and all my treats and head off to those spots.
So you don't have customers or suppliers coming to your house?
No, I don't. That's why I have the distribution in one store here in Woodbridge. So if somebody wants to purchase products for local pickup, I have them pick them up at a store here in Woodbridge.
Do you have any employees?
Don't have any employees, but I put my family to work a lot.
So it's basically yourself.
Hopefully someday I'll get big enough and move out of my basement and have multiple employees and all of that, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
Do you have to put in a commercial kitchen in your house?
I will have to put in a commercial kitchen.
In
yes.
your house?
Yep.
Signage?
None.
Having any signage?
None outside the house. It's all online. I have a post office box too, and for all the mail, so that I'm not getting a lot of extra stuff being delivered to the house as well.
So your application is for the office, and you're working with somebody else on the kitchen.
Yeah, so I've contacted Quinnipiac Valley Health to find out if there was a process for that, and I also contacted the Department of Consumer Protection. And according to Quinnipiac Valley Health, because it's not a retail location where people come in and out, I don't have to go through them through a whole approval process. I have to go through the state consumer protection. So I have spoken with the representative from there, who's also the woman that I've worked with to get my bakery license in the commercial kitchen space where I rent. And she's in touch with me, and we talked about the regulations and how many sinks I would have to have, and 2 ways to get out of the facility. I can't have a door that exits directly outside, which is not a problem because it's my basement. So things like that. No pets. I don't have any pets in the house. And I have to have my water tested because we're on a well. So she's going to give me the requirements and regulations for that as well. And she told me to go online to get a form for them, which I will have to submit to you if you approve my application, because you'll have to sign off on that.
Got it. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Nope.
There you go.
Okay. Should I give you my form for later after?
Let's give it to Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Peggy Rubin's duel for 16 Fieldstone Drive, application for residence office permit.
Good evening, all.
You look familiar.
You're sitting on the wrong place though.
I know.
Well, maybe
Not many people
Maybe
have
not,
changed.
actually.
Right. Right. I am here to request a renewal for my architecture office, which has been in my home for 8 years. So this is my third renewal. And I do not have clients who come, do not really ship anything other than what our family ships, no signage, and I'm continuing the same type of practice.
The previous renewals were for how long?
4 years.
Okay.
A lot of questions, I can tell.
She
You want
answered
to
them
ask her how long she
preemptively.
intends to stay in business? What is the renewal request?
The
Well, it
renewal
says-
request is another 4 years.
Okay.
It's right in the application.
That's what
I
she
In the
understand.
application.
I just thought she might want to amend it and have a lifetime request.
No, perhaps by then you'll have different regulations and we might be able to do this administratively in the office, since there are so many home offices going on now.
We are having a lot of conversations about changing our regulations. That might be one.
And tonight, if you want to hang out. All right, any other questions?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you
all.
very much.
You are welcome.
Next item on the agenda is Grimaldi's Pizza, 1646 Litchfield Turnpike. Application for a special permit for a second wall sign for Grimaldi's Pizza.
Good evening. I'm Paul Casella. I do some work for the Grimaldis. As you all know, they've had some issues. They've been taken over by a new company.
Actually, we didn't know.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
You never ate there?
No,
Okay.
I have eaten there, but I didn't know that.
I didn't understand what are those issues.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't know. They just all I know is that there's a new owner and a new LLC was formed.
Huh, wow.
So we're applying for an additional wall sign. When you kind of pull into the plaza, because of the location of Grimaldi's, as I know at the old DeAndrea's, it appears that it's closed. You can see Pam's sign, you can see Arlen's, you can see Katz's, but when you look straight ahead, you can't see Grimaldi's because that sign really faces the parkway. It's kind of up, and we were looking for anything that you could approve that would be illuminated, that could be put here. There's about 45 square feet up there. It's 3 by 45. And if you came into the plaza, it would make it at least, because we don't even have a window there. We get kind of lights from Arlen's.
Right.
When they put the window in, I guess they blocked it off. So whatever we could get as far as what you would approve for a small illuminated box that just might say Grimaldi's or something like that with the white background, which most of those signs have. And that's what we're,
So that's where they.
So,
Oh, sorry.
So how about since I get to say whatever I want until it's time for a vote, what about being a little more creative, and instead of putting up a run-of-the-mill box sign like the rest of the plaza, you actually put your letters like on the building kind of thing. How about something like that?
Yeah.
we could, and I could design something like that for you. I don't have a problem with that. I don't know if Mr. Parati does. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I would love to come up with some channel letters or some something like that, and then put them on the fascia. I don't have a problem designing something like that. If you guys could give me an idea of how much space I could use.
Okay, that's a good question. So, Chris, the sign that's up there now, that's our maximum, that sign size was determined by what our maximum size.
The second sign that's being requested has no size requirements,
No, I understand that, but the first sign,
is up to the max of what can be there.
which is, do you know what that is?
It seems a lot bigger than this one.
Oh, no.
It
This
is
is
a lot
clearly
bigger.
outsized
Yeah,
by the.
it is a lot bigger.
No, no, it's
Yeah.
much bigger.
Yeah, I went as small as possible, just so it wouldn't,
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't have trouble with channel letters, something
25 square
illuminated.
feet.
25 square feet, and then it's maxed out.
Mhm.
And this is,
So I would be into something a little more creative, and I don't have a problem putting a sign up there.
Can I give an idea of how much space we could use so I could
Oh,
be
that's a
creative
good
within the
question.
guidelines?
Okay, so this
It's
is
56.
21 by 56.
So that was less than 2 by, what is it, what's 56? I teach college too, which is scary. So it's about 2 by 5, right? Yeah. So I mean, can we have 10 square feet and I could come up with channel letters with just the word Grimaldi's on it in that typeface? And I'll provide you with some drawings, and I mean, I don't have any problems being creative.
I think it would look a lot nicer.
I do too. I do too.
And
I would just have to get approval from, of course, from Mr. Parati. So. Once again, how much space could I use?
10 feet's pretty big.
that's a big,
Well, I know, but it doesn't really need to be. I mean, listen, it can be like off-centered. It can be like over here.
I don't know why I came up with the 10 feet, to be honest. I just didn't want something too
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Right, but Jeff's point is that it could be in like the
It doesn't have to
left
be-
side of
it
the
doesn't have to be in
space
the middle.
instead of
It
in the
could be like
center.
over
We would
here.
prefer to put it there also, and it would look more aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
But at this point, we just didn't know what direction to go in.
Okay, so we want to do exactly what you want to do.
Okay,
A little to the left,
yep,
and individual letters on the wall.
no problem.
And
Do you want them illuminated, or is that,
no, I think it should be illuminated. I think
Okay.
the idea is to attract business. I mean,
Right.
If you didn't have an illuminated sign out, I mean, I don't know what the rest of the commission said, but if it wasn't illuminated right now, you wouldn't be a waste of money to put a sign up there.
well, sometimes some towns prefer that you light them from the side or something, put lights
I
on them.
think
But I'd
it'd
love
be-
to do illuminated channel
I think
letters,
it'd be
so,
pretty cool if.
okay.
I don't know about 10 feet though. What is the length of this? Do you know?
That's 45 feet. I'm sorry, that's 15 feet by 3 feet high, 45 square feet.
This is 15 feet.
Yes, sir.
yeah, about 56.
Oh, so
This is not 10 feet.
It can't be 10 feet.
this is 15. Feet.
No, no, this is not 10 feet.
Yeah, so something.
It's 10 square feet.
The,
Oh,
the,
10 square.
Square
the,
feet.
the
56
size is right
inches.
there.
It's 21 by what, 21 by 5? Is that
But
what it
he's
is?
telling just under 5.
It's only four, it's only
He's
four.
telling me that it's on here wrong.
Yeah.
But this is 15 feet. So I don't know.
How big could we make the letters, though? I mean, I'm just trying to think, is that going to work, or are they going to
Look at the
look?
back letters. Make them less than a foot, and you're less than 10 feet. You got 10 of them here, but you plaster them.
Well, wait a second. Usually the size of the letter is dictated by a chart that tells you what you can see the best. So what size are the letters that are on the front of the building?
The front of the building doesn't really have letters. It has one big kind of, I think they're probably, do you know, Chris? The original ones are probably 3 feet, 2 feet. I'm not sure. Because it's 25 square feet, you said, right? Yeah.
The sign on the front.
Yes, the one on the front is 25 square feet. What I could do is I could design something. I could bring it back and show you the size of the letters so it would be at least aesthetically pleasing. I mean, I don't want to put something up there that's going to look crunched or too small.
No, but if you come back, you can tell us also, given the distance from the road, what the typical suggested height of those letters should be, which is probably
Okay.
going to be between 12 and 18
Right.
inches.
Yeah, it's about a foot.
Right.
I mean,
And just as you mock this up, you could mock it up as well with what you're proposing to get a sense for what it's going to look
like,
like.
yeah, that's not a problem at all. Just as long as we can get something up there, we'd be very happy.
Yeah, I
I
think that's a good
appreciate
idea.
that.
Yeah.
Most important thing is make sure you get the approval from your client. when you're giving
And
it
yeah,
to
that's,
us.
I'd have to go to Levy Miller-Moretz and tell them we're doing it.
Right.
Yeah, it's good.
So I'm just gonna, what I'll do is I'll do the artwork first, and then I'll send them to Levy Miller-Moretz, and then I'll send a letter to Mr. Prati, and then I'll come back and see you.
Perfect.
All right? Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. You too.
Didn't know they had new owners.
You haven't
I
seen me
know.
in 40 years, and now you get to see me.
Now I get to see you all the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the South Central Connecticut Regional Water Authority, about 115 Sperry Road and 1115 Litchfield Turnpike. It's an application for 2-lot subdivision.
That's right.
Well, we have this camera too.
Oh.
Maybe you're covered.
Real quick question, do you have a check?
Yes, I do.
Oh, there you go.
I do have a check.
Most important.
We're gonna stop you right in your tracks.
Well,
Yeah.
it was about to be over before you started.
Better have the check, yeah.
It's not my check, it's
Oh, look, on Litchfield Turnpike is this? You guys know?
Down by, is this the building by the this is the house by the reservoir, isn't it? On the corner of
Dylan and.
Dillon and,
Dillon.
yeah.
Okay, oh, okay. That's a nice spot.
It's a great spot. It's,
Wasn't there a sign-in sheet?
There was,
Somebody take it?
maybe Paul took it. I'll have to yell at him.
Mr. Casella was
I got
left
a piece of paper.
with the sign-up
You know
sheet.
what, take one of the agendas and sign on the back.
Oh, it's fun. That's it.
Betty,
You
thank
can stay if you want, otherwise they'll act on it later, in the morning, whatever you want to do. Okay. Before you leave, could you just sign again? Because apparently our sheet disappeared.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James DeMeo. I'm a civil engineer and surveyor at Giuliano Associates. I'm here representing the Regional Water Authority for the subdivision of their parcel. This parcel is a 436 acre piece of property. It currently has 2 houses on it, one at 2040 Litchfield Turnpike, the other one at 115 Sperry Road. Pretty much the Regional Water Authority just doesn't want to be tenants anymore or landlords anymore.
Those numbers are different than what we have.
Yeah,
Oh.
one says 111.
We have 115 Sperry Road and we have 1115 Litchfield Turnpike.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, it should be 2040. Sorry. Yeah, I may have put the wrong address. So what basically they're just trying to not be landlords anymore. They just want to sell off those chunks of land. We tried to make them conform to zoning, but they are pre-existing houses. So Litchfield has a front, or is okay in terms of setbacks and everything else.
And in terms of cover, I mean, the size of the lot?
We're sizing the lots according to zoning, everything like that. Sperry, that one just has a front setback issue, but the house is already existing, so it's a pre-existing house. Aside from that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Any questions?
Do you already have somebody buying these? Is the town buying these? What's?
I am not sure. I don't know if they have a buyer.
There have been different entities within the town that have been interested in actually purchasing them.
Yeah, so potential buyers, but nothing as far as I know.
I'm just wondering the size of the lots again, roughly.
The proposed lots, I believe, have to be 2 acres.
Yeah, we thought that that's true, but I was just wondering exactly
Yes.
what they are.
Yeah,
what they are.
they're over 2 acres, and that's just the areas that aren't too steep and
Right.
aren't wetlands.
But that's not really a problem.
Correct. Yeah.
Chris, again, the verification is that there's no variances needed because it's pre-existing house and
They're
everything else
existing
conforms.
houses, so they're not asking for non-conforming lots.
Exactly.
So since the lots are conforming, which is what the subdivision is about,
Mhm.
there's no variances that are required.
Okay. The reason we're hearing a subdivision is it's not a first cut? Is that what happened?
Correct.
They're cutting 2 lots out of the 400.
Okay, so you actually have 3. So you have 3 parcels of
Correct,
property.
yeah. So we're going to end up with 3. So we have the big
Got it.
piece, and then we're just cutting out 2 additional ones. So 3 total is what we're going to end up with.
They're actually doing the same thing with another house that they own over on Johnson.
Correct.
But that is a first cut, so that doesn't need to come before
Right.
you.
Yes.
And they've submitted the plan for that so that we could confirm that the lot they were creating was zoning compliant. So the only question I have with this one is we do have a requirement for open space, provision of open space, so I'm assuming that the water company would like to request a waiver of that.
Yes. Yes. They would like to request the waiver of the open space. Yes. I mean, they're pretty much going to keep the rest of the 400 and plus acres as is. Yeah.
Is it, you have the rest of the 400 acres, is it reservoir, is it woods? What
Parts of it is reservoir, woods. It's pretty much a mix.
The end of Dillon Road, you know, where the,
Yeah, I do.
it's
Yeah.
just gorgeous out there on the left. That's a part of the, you
Yeah.
know, where it opens up as you go down to the end is what gives on to the south end of those 400 acres, right?
Correct, yeah.
Any other questions?
These have been rented all along, both of these,
Yes, they have been rental properties up until this point.
so people have
Yeah,
been living.
I don't know if he's right about that.
Okay,
They've
but
been-
people have been living.
I don't think anybody's, people have,
They've
but
been
no one's living.
vacant.
Well,
Yeah,
they've been
vacant.
vacant for years.
Yeah.
But
They
okay.
used to rent them.
correct, they
So
used to
they've
rent.
been vacant for
There's
years.
raccoons probably.
Correct. Oh yeah. Currently, they're all boarded up and,
Oh,
and
okay.
not being lived in. Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
but they have in the past
fine.
been rental properties.
So that's gonna be right there. That's what I was saying.
Are they gonna, you guys gonna put the columns back before you, the one on Sperry Road?
Oh, on Sperry, I honestly have no idea what they're planning on doing.
Okay.
What are the right addresses?
It's 2040 Litchfield Turnpike,
Yeah, that's on the plan. Yeah.
and then 115.
The 115 is right, okay.
So 1115 Litchfield is on the application.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And that was a typo from another project, another RWA subdivision. So.
All right.
Great.
Any other questions?
Delighted to have that open space.
Okay.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
And now they're gonna give you less open space then. 4 acres.
I guess in certain areas it would be significant.
And the next item on the agenda is John and Leva Wright, 25 Oxbow Lane. Application for earth excavation permit for residential site development of the lot.
I would just note before Mr. Pryor starts that this was sent to Bob Criscolo, and his determination was that because of the size of the area that was proposed to be disturbed, that was what was tripping the need for an earth removal fill permit, because if it's over a certain area of disturbance, so it's not necessarily the slopes, this is a pretty flat lot.
So, 3-4 years ago when we were doing a project, there was another house over there which was doing a huge amount of excavating and fill and raising a lot. Is this near that?
Oxbow that's been developed.
Oh, yeah, though I never saw so many trucks going in and out.
Can you see, would you be able to tell from
If I could
from the
look at the
local
whole.
map right there?
Yeah, I can. Okay, I know which lot this is, but it's on the other side of the circle. It's like, oh, one of these lots over here. Yeah. I never, I never saw so many.
Approved by Indian Wetlands Agency, so. Not that there are any wetlands.
Is there wetlands on this lot?
There are no wetlands on this site, but there are wetlands on the adjoining one,
Right.
and since they regulate within 100 feet, they regulate a portion of this lot.
So this is a new house.
Yes. Yes, for the record, my name is Robert Pryor.
Sorry.
I figure I'll start. Professional engineer and land surveyor. Here tonight representing the applicants for a new house construction at 25 Oxbow Lane. We are here tonight under Section 7 of your zoning regulations, which is the excavation, removal, filling, grading, and process of earth products. As Chris has already described, under Section 7.2, there are several exemptions that would cause us not to be here tonight. But anything over 10, where you disturb over 10,000 square feet, essentially exclude you from the exemption, so you need to get we need to get the permit. When we go through Section 7.4 and look at the standards of granting the permit, the only thing that we have that is stated as a standard is grading within 50 feet of either a property line or the roadway. That's something that's in the standard. I believe that's there for not a residential lot development, but more of either sort of a earth extraction, mining type of procedures. Certainly, any development you do on any lot, just to get the driveways in, you would have some grading within 50 feet of the property line. There are no slopes that are steeper than 3 to 1 on the site or proposed on the site, but we do exceed the 10,000 square feet. We're proposing approximately 36,000 square feet of overall site disturbance. So a little over half of the lot to create the driveway, the stormwater management facilities, area for septic system, and lawn area. As Chris said, this was delegated for administrative approval at the July 20th Inland Wetlands meeting and subsequently approved.
How come we don't have like a letter from Bob or something like that?
I can go downstairs and get it.
Okay.
Should be in this file.
We don't have to go down, although I think normally we should probably be looking at it, but I hope that it's included in the package.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've received no other staff comments.
So Bob didn't have any comments on,
He did have comments. They were all addressed on the plans that were reviewed and finally approved by Terry as the enforcement officer for the Inland Wetlands Agency. So
so he
there
had-
was a
So
discussion.
in fact, he's approved what's in front of us already.
What's in front of you?
Okay. That's what.
All right. Any other comments?
How long should all the work be taken? Should this work take?
I believe that the applicant wants to start in the spring and be in sort of toward the end of fall next year is his intent here. So I think it'll be one construction season, unless for some reason he gets delayed in the starting of construction here. But I wouldn't anticipate that.
No unusual hours of operation in terms of this earth removal?
There's really not a lot. I mean, there's some material that's going to be brought on the site, mostly for the septic system and the grading associated with that, so there won't be a lot of hauling out of material, but it's well within the 1,000 cubic yard threshold of what's allowed. And we wouldn't anticipate any, I mean, you have standard operating hours, I think, in your regulations, so we're not asking for anything outside of those hours.
Anything else?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much.
And if you ever go to the DOT as a consultant, they always have questions that they ask all the consultants, and the questions are always the same, and they always tape down the questions to the desk so that you can't walk off with them. So I would just suggest that you might consider doing that for your sign-out sheet as well.
Maybe we'll put it on a clipboard.
Taking a sign out sheet.
I have to say, it's the first time.
I think it's the first. I've never seen it happen
How many
before.
years?
Yeah.
7 years. It's the first time
I've
I've
been
seen
here
it.
18 and I've
And
never
it
seen
can't be it can't even be somebody that we're going to turn down tonight.
Well, you know, the real thing is, it looks like Chris knows this person, so, you know, we'll delegate that to
I'm
you.
not going.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. Okay, so we go into our, we're gonna close everything except the Grimaldi's Pizza.
Correct.
And we can go into our work session. Start off with Jody Seidner, 9 Blue Trails Drive. Any discussion?
Motion to approve the Cookie Ladies application.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And I'm assuming that's for 1 year.
Yes.
Yes.
South Central, actually Peggy Duels.
Move to approve.
Second.
4 years.
4 years.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, South Central Connecticut Regional Water Authority.
Move.
Second.
Discussion? There's one thing I forgot to do. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's with the waiver of the open space.
With the
Yes.
waiver.
And we have his check.
And we have a check.
Who moved him, Kathleen?
I think Kathleen moved.
It is negotiable.
Kathy moved and
Who seconded?
Alan seconded. The one sitting next to you seconded.
All right.
And the last one.
There is no last one.
Yeah.
There is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I-
John, you're right.
Move approval.
I was, actually, it's not listed down
Yeah, I
here.
know. I
Messing me up here.
But it's in the memo.
Yes, I see that. John Leverett, 25 Oxbow Lane.
I move approval.
Second. With the exception, with the waiver of the 50 feet.
Yeah, that's
We
a
need
part of
to-
the application.
Yeah.
And Bob's letter's gonna be put in the,
Apps.
Right.
It's
His.
based upon the comments made by our
Right.
officer tonight.
okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's that.
Thank you.
Do you have to vote on these? Or is this?
I don't know if we vote on
I
that. Do
don't
we
know.
vote on the dates, Chris?
I need you to vote on the dates, yeah. The
Okay.
ones that I mailed you, not the ones that I gave you out.
Right.
Yes,
Well, we can vote on wetlands too if you want.
Yeah, which, any date she needs.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the,
The
Moved.
October, this says the October meeting's on a Monday, October 2nd, and in the text below, it says it's on a Tuesday, because Monday, October 3rd is Rosh Hashanah.
Oh, then I need to correct that. That's why you have them.
But all the dates are off there.
I think you used 2016 dates instead of 7.
No, I had a,
Actually, this was my handout.
honestly printed out a calendar for,
It's October, so October 3rd is the date, Tuesday.
so it's October 4th. And
Yeah,
it
right.
should be a Tuesday.
No, October 3rd is the Tuesday.
Oh. but I-
October 3rd is a
okay.
Tuesday.
October 3rd is the
I don't think
Tuesday.
Rosh Hashanah comes.
And it's not- has
September
nothing-
next year.
It's not
So I
Rosh
need to,
Hashanah.
okay, so I need to delete the note, and we're sticking with the Monday, and it's actually October 2nd.
Second, correct.
Thank you.
yeah.
It's, okay.
So I was right at the beginning.
It's
but
actually
the note was wrong.
nothing.
Okay.
So Chris, I want to hand you this because I just assumed you didn't want me to show up at any of these because that's what was on my
It's
desk.
a public meeting. I
No.
gave them to everybody.
We all had them,
Yeah,
but you got the right one in your mail packet.
with the wrong date.
No, it had the right date, it had the wrong note. Okay,
Whatever.
so, who moved?
All right.
Move to approve as corrected.
Correct.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed?
How did it come?
I don't know. I
And I
just
have
asked
one
them.
thing real quick before we dive into Leslie's. I found actually today, someone was calling and looking for uses in the Dev 2 zone. And I had referred her to the online regulations, which we recodified several years back. And apparently when they were recodified, number 1 under the development districts, which was one paragraph, got split into 2 paragraphs and got numbered 1 and 2, and then no X's were put in to show that it was a use that was an allowed use. So it was a Scrivener's error, and I just want to have confirmation from you that it's okay to go back to what we had. This is where it said office for executive, administrative, or professional purposes.
You're allowed to fix it if it's a
Laboratories for
Scrivener's error.
scientific research, and then when it got recodified, it got somehow split into 2 paragraphs so that assembly, fabrication, and finishing of articles of small size and high value, such as precision instruments, cameras, electronic instruments, and the like, subject to 316, got broken out into its own thing, but it didn't have an X indicating you could do it. So I just need confirmation that I can throw it back the way it was
You
Do you
originally.
need a vote on this, or?
The last time you did this, you just by consensus told me to correct it. It didn't require a public hearing, it was a Scrivener's error.
Yes, corrected. I'm
Thank you so
fine with
much.
correcting it.
Okay, the other, actually, I almost forgot. There seems to be this trend that towns want to put up digital billboards. So I was thinking that's probably not necessarily what we want in Woodbridge. So I'd like to propose that we have already a prohibition on more billboards.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so,
no, you don't list it as something that's permitted, so by default, it becomes something that's not permitted.
okay, so these are the things that panic me because I think we always get applications in here. We're putting out brush fires when things aren't really clear. So this is our chance to kind of pick up, make things clear and have it. So we obviously want it to be prohibited, and I would think we would want digital billboards also prohibited.
So where is a digital billboard that you would point me to?
They're all over the place.
They're all over the place, and they're actually trying to get them in all these other towns. So, and it's before North Haven right now, but after the application comes in, we don't.
No, I understand all of
Right.
that. I'm asking you to point me to one that is close by over here.
I couldn't really.
Okay, one on
There's
the
one on
Kew Bridge.
Branford.
Oh, yeah, off Kew Bridge, there are a couple of them.
When you go down 91,
So these are the
91
ones that
south or
come out
north.
with 2 or 3 or 4 different,
Well, that's one of
Oh,
the
yeah,
ways to do digital.
continuous.
it keeps on a continuous,
But it's clear that all billboards are prohibited in Woodbridge because they are not specifically permitted,
that's what
You
said.
have a
that-
list of signs that are permitted.
and it specifically says all other signs are prohibited.
There is a billboard.
It doesn't, you do
Yeah,
have a
well,
list of prohibited
grandfather.
signs, and it is
Whoa.
not specifically listed under the
Grandfather.
prohibited signs.
End of Lucy Street.
But isn't that
on
because
Emily Road.
we have those billboards right there at the end of Lucy Street, and we can't, I mean.
Those
we-
are grandfathered in.
Those are grandfathered in, we can't get rid of those, so is that why we don't mention it anywhere?
You list
We
under
also have the
4
one at
point,
the end of Bradley
You can
Road.
say that prohibited.
under
in there for-
4.2 applicability, it says no sign, billboard, signpost, or structure, da-da-da-da-da-da, is permitted except by the provisions of the section. So nowhere in the section do you specifically state that billboards are an allowed use.
Okay, so I think we should actually say specifically that billboards are prohibited.
So you.
And also that digital billboards would be prohibited.
Well,
So is that a new regulation that needs to have a public
It
hearing?
will have a public hearing, exactly.
would you want digital, well, By definition, is a billboard does a billboard have to be a certain size?
Yeah, that would be my question. Because otherwise you're gonna limit all digital signage then, right, on the sides of.
That's what I'm
buildings and
getting,
shops.
that's what I'm
Right.
getting to also. Are we trying to eliminate all digital signage? But by definition, what is a billboard?
We don't have a definition in our zoning regs of a billboard.
We might want to have one of those. I mean, if we're going to be specific, that might be the way to start it,
Yeah.
you know? Decide what a billboard is.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then prohibit that.
So I'll get samples of billboard language for you, and then I'll give it to you for the next meeting, and then we can go from there. Okay.
And the reason we want to do the digital is because we don't want people that have existing billboards to come in and say, oh yeah, we want a variance to turn this into digital, so that's what we want to avoid.
So is our Grimaldi sign going to come back digitally?
No, that's a
Kidding.
sign on a building.
I understand.
Those channel letters, we all heard him say that about 20 times, so.
I know. I like what we were suggesting. He said, oh, that's what I want. Oh, that's what I want.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, and should we do that and set a public hearing for next month?
You can't do it next month because this is a regulation change
Okay.
and it affects within the neighborhood of an abutting town, so we have to refer it to the council of
Right,
governments.
and that
you
won't
need
be back in
specific-
a month?
and you need specific language.
And we need specific language.
Okay, so we'll get that, we'll approve it, and then we'll
And then we
maybe
can
do
schedule it
for
for
the next
hearing in
month.
March.